All right, here's our video today. How the body uses sunlight to make vitamin D. Right, so there's the sun in the picture there, and we'll use yellow, why not? And all these photons leaving the sun, these photons, these light carriers, they're photons, right? They left the sun about 8 minutes ago. And specifically, what makes vitamin D is the UVB rays, which we'll talk about, ultraviolet rays. And ultraviolet is light. It's not the visible light. So you're seeing visible light. Don't look at the sun, but look outside, that's light. That's visible light, which you see. Ultraviolet rays you don't see, but they are light. So specifically UVB rays, and we'll talk about that. So we have at the ultraviolet, remember it's ultraviolet rays, which are light. They're light, just light we don't see. They're part of the electromagnetic spectrum of light, and so radio is light also, right? Radio, which is also television, right? Radio waves, they're the longest, and then you have microwaves. They're light. Infrared is light. We don't see any of these. Snakes can see infrared, by the way. And then VL, which is visible light, and then on this side we have ultraviolet, right? So UV. Don't forget about that guy up there. UV, and there's the types we'll talk about. There's UVA, there's UVB. Make sure the U looks like a U, not a V. And what do you think the third one is? Want to guess? UVC. Excellent. UVC. UVC never enters the Earth's atmosphere, so we won't talk about that. But these two enter the Earth's atmosphere. And we need both of them for our health. But you got to be careful with them. You can't be exposed too much to this because they are part of ionizing radiation. They could damage your cells. So you got to be careful. You got to wear sunscreen and so forth. Now, of course, after UV, there's X-ray, and X-ray is light, and gamma. Gamma rays are light also. They're the shortest and most dangerous. So normally, you see the ones that damage DNA. We'll put a line down right there. This part over here. These are the ionizing, and this part over here is non-ionizing. So they can't damage your DNA. They can hurt you. They can burn you, right? Microwave could burn you and so forth. And by the way, some birds could see in ultraviolet, but we can't. So if you want to rewind to see this electromagnetic spectrum, but let me just clear this out. We'll just concentrate on VL, which is visible light, for a minute, because I want to show you the length. Visible light can go from 700 nanometers, which is the red spectrum of visible light, to violet, which is the shortest, 400 nanometers. But when you're talking about, there's that line again, UV, ultraviolet, right? Ultraviolet, we'll say UVA can start at 400, and it can go to about 320 nanometers, where UVB, the one that we're going to talk a lot about because UVB gives us vitamin D. It's the UVB that we want, right? And that can go from 320 nanometers to about maybe 290 nanometers. And I said UVC doesn't enter the Earth's atmosphere, but that's shorter and the most dangerous. But by the way, out of that UV in the electromagnetic spectrum, only 5% of ultraviolet radiation from the sun is UVB. All right. So UVB, again, makes vitamin D. Very essential for our health to have vitamin D. And it's D3, actually. So you might see that when you get in supplements in the store, they say D3. That's the one you want. Again, talk to your doctor if you need to take vitamin D3. But you get it from the sun. Now here you see a picture. The UVB, what it's going to do is going to penetrate the skin, as you're seeing here. Penetrates the skin, and it penetrates to the epidermis. See, the UVA goes past the epidermis into the dermis, but we're only concerned about the UVB It enters into the dermis, and it's going to enter a molecule, and I'll write this molecule, D7-DHC. Right, and that's just a fancy name for it's 7-dehydrocholesterol. That's all it is. Just 7-DHC. Again, it's 7-dehydrocholesterol. And when the photons from the UVB rays hit it, it's going to turn the molecule into vitamin D3 eventually. We'll go over the steps. So as you can see, well, let me write it down, right? So we'll write the whole word out here. It's 7-dehydro, and you can tell by the name what it is, right? It's a cholesterol molecule. So cholesterol is important. Your body needs cholesterol. Not too much cholesterol, though. So that is we'll just say 7-DHC throughout the video. Now, I do have a video on cholesterol if you want to watch it. But again, cholesterol is important for our health. It helps build cell membranes. It helps with hormone production. And again, as we were talking about in this video, right, it helps absorb the sun rays, the UVB rays, so we can make vitamin D3. And the only way to get D3, now you can get D3 besides the sun. You can get them in supplements like eggs and oily fish, but it's not as efficient as getting it from the sun. So just remember that. So we'll have these photons. Make these photons. They're going to hit the molecule. We'll have the molecule here, 7-DHC. And when they hit that molecule, they're going to energize it. Right? It's going to go through a process. It's a photochemical reaction. Because obviously the light, the photons, photochemical reaction. All right. And once they hit this and energize it, we'll make these symbols of energy there. Maybe we'll throw in, well, keep the red energy there. It's going to break it down. It's going to break it down. We'll break down into what they call pre-vitamin D3. Right, so we have the 7-DH7, 7-DHC, not 7. That molecule is going through a photochemical reaction when photons from UVB hit it and break it down into pre-vitamin D3. And then from pre-vitamin D3, it'll be converted to D3 and released in the blood and transported to target tissues and so forth. So another question, and again, this is a simple video of what happens. So why do we need vitamin D anyway? Well, it helps with the growth of bones. We need it for bone health because it helps absorb calcium and phosphate. Again, all for bone health. But it can also help the immune system. It can help your muscle function, and it can help in homeostasis. Remember, homeostasis is the body's ability to keep a balance, right? If you have a fever, what happens, right? Your body will send chills, right, to you, right, to keep you cooler. If you're hot, you will sweat. That's homeostasis, and vitamin D will help that. And UVB is what you're looking for to get. And again, you have to be careful with any ultraviolet radiation. So you don't want to be spending a lot of time exposing yourself to it. You don't need that much during the day either. Talk to your doctor about it. But 20 minutes a day is probably enough to get the UVB rays. Then again, you want it to penetrate all of your skin. Well, not completely all of it. The thing is UVB won't penetrate glass. It won't penetrate clothes. So if you're walking around with a lot of clothes on, you're just not going to get that benefit of the UVB. So we should write that down. It will UVB will not penetrate glass. So if you're in your car, you're out, looking out the window, the visible light's coming through, but UVB will not penetrate the glass. The silica inside of the glass will block it. It will be absorbed. And another thing about UVB is depending on where you live in the world, but UVB is not the way it's penetrated through the atmosphere. It's usually not available from until about 10 a.m., 10 to 3 p.m. That's usually the window opportunity of getting vitamin D from UVB. Again, depends on the latitude. Also, it's stronger during the summer, and it's too low in the winter. It's actually too low for it to be absorbed in the body. So you want to get all your UVB, within the spring and summer and fall, and you get most of it in the summer. Now UVA is beneficial also, and that's you can get UVA all year round and all throughout the day. And there's some, like I said, it is beneficial. UVA can help make, for example, NO, which is not no, but it's nitric oxide. Write that down. And nitric oxide can help improve your circulation. You can also get it from UVA, UVB, and also from VL, visible light. All three of these, you can get other things like beta endorphins. And beta endorphins are like nature's painkiller. So just by looking at light, feeling the light, going for a walk, beta endorphins, painkillers. Also, the sunlight, visible light, can help with your circulation, your circadian rhythm, the rhythm of your sleep cycle. So it can help with mood and appetite and so forth. So that is our video today on visible light and UVB and UVA. And just again, you want to be careful when you're outside. Make sure you use sunscreen, talk to your doctor, and so forth.